Hi everyone, comic book reviewer here. This time reviewing on My Neighbor Totoro. Now, as you know, My Neighbor Totoro is meant to be a 1988 Japanese animated fantasy film that was written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, whose other films I did cover. And I would say surprised enough that My Neighbor Totoro has been referenced so many times by Toy Story 3, also Samurai Jack, as well as The Simpsons. And I would say My Neighbor Totoro has been referenced so many times, like on t-shirts, meme pictures, and references on DeviantArt. So the premise of the film takes place in the 1950s in Japan, where we see how a university professor known as Tatsuro takes his two daughters, Sakusuke and Mei, who are meant to be 10 and 4 years old, move to an old house to be closer to where their mum is at the hospital. And we kind of see over the course of the film them using their imaginations, and the residents kind of giving them the sort of inspiration to overcome their personal struggles. Like, we kind of see how they talk about the sort of dust-like house spirits called the Sarawatari, who are obviously maybe kind of like these spirits in the house that the grown-ups help them to overcome their problems. And that over the course of the film, we do see how the two sisters use their imaginations and see them sort of using it to kind of overcome their struggles and problems. And we do kind of see them how they imagine their cat bus, also Totoro, and so on. And I think the point of Totoro is maybe like this pet, but kind of friendly-like creature. Like, you're not meant to know much about it, but you know deep down Mei and Sakusuke are kind of meant to use it as a way to cope with their problems. And I think what's interesting over the film, it's just kind of that slice-of-life story that's about coming over your problems and hoping that your loved one will pull through okay. And I would say there's a difference between Sakusuke as well as Mei. Like, you can tell Sakusuke does try to be playful and jokeful, but knows when to be serious. Well, Mei, who is meant to be 4 years old, still sees things like a little kid. And I think Dakota and Ellie Fanning really do a great job in playing the sister dynamic. I think in later roles, you can tell they really do try to break away from that typecast role, like Dakota Fanning playing Coraline, who feels more like an outsider, but wants a kind of normal family. Well, Ellie Fanning played the role of Felicia in Ballerina or Leap, a person who wanted to go the distance, but still had the love and support from the people who cared about them. I think the film definitely works. It's about overcoming your problems, struggles, and using your imagination over the course of the film. I think it would have been interesting to have seen the film take place in 1988, where you could have had the dad try to do a sort of university article about kind of preserving the kind of farming community, even having the two daughters meet the sort of spirits and locals at the farm and helping them kind of find a way to kind of solve the problem. But here it just feels like a typical slice of life using your imagination story, which I think definitely deserves a bit more praise. Like, I think over the course of the film, you do kind of see how both the characters do try to overcome their problems and do try to find a way to kind of balance what they have in life. I think, well, My Neighbor Totoro isn't perfect, but we have seen it referenced before from South Park, Samurai Jack, The Simpsons, and so on. And I think the film definitely deserves a thumbs in the middle. It's kind of alright, kind of okay, but it's still a good story, despite some missing potential. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.